Now, she's calling herself a dumb kid who just wants to come home.
Shamima Begum, the East London schoolgirl who fled to Syria to join ISIS as a 15-year-old in 2015, has made another plea to return to the UK.
Yeah, speaking to journalist Andrew Drury in a prison camp, she insists she's not a terrorist and has begged to come home to London.
Well, let's speak to Andrew Drury, who's a freelance journalist who got that interview with Shamima for the Daily Mail. Andrew, this is an utterly incredible interview. I mean, you must know Shamima pretty well by now. Tell me, what is she like and what's conditions like for her over there?
Strange, yeah, I can say I know quite well. It's a strange thing to say because it was never a part of... I was filming for something called Danger Zone. It's been going on for the last 4 or 5 years, where I'm the host. And so Shamima was more like a day off. The camp is extremely hot, 42 degrees. She's very childlike, but after going there, my opinion was the same as everybody else. I think she should rot there. But after 2 hours talking with her, walking the camp, I've totally changed my mind. I think she should come back to the UK, spend a lot of time in prison. I think she has to serve time and have a sentence, but I don't think it should be there.
We were told, weren't we, that when she went over there, despite her relative youth, that she was part of some of the atrocities that have been reported. Do you believe those stories? And you know, do you think she is a sweet, innocent woman, you know, who maybe sees the error of her ways, or could she actually be a threat?
She most definitely couldn't be a threat. I had time to speak to her about. The interview was based on her youth. I was trying to find out what she was really like as a kid, or whether she'd been radicalised when she was younger, and she clearly was. She started as an innocent girl, very quiet in class at school, not any signs that she'd been radicalised. She said she was a good girl, but obviously things started to change 11, 12-ish. The only person, as I say, during the whole interview she wouldn't talk about is her father. So you can read into that as much as would. I said, can I talk about your dad? Do you miss him? She said, I don't want to talk about that man. Sorry.
No, I was just saying we've had lots of reaction to this already. I just want to put this one to you. This is from S. Murphy in Oxford. She might have only been 15, but she took 2 others with her. Her husband gave an interview saying she pushed for the marriage and partook in some unsavoury episodes, vocally if not actually. She was no innocent. Teenagers killed just because they're young does not absolve them, and they do know what they're doing. Is S. Murphy in Oxford being unfair?
No, because that's the same opinion I had. But the point of view is, she didn't take the other 2, she went along with them. She wasn't the instigator. But even though that doesn't make any difference, I think she had this kind of jihadist view that she was going to an area of, I don't know, some sort of paradise. I think she was really simplistic. I think her views and visions of the world were different. She was certainly, her mind had been changed from a normal young girl, because why would she? I mean, she was talking about liking Friends, missing KFC, liking Kanye West. It's things that a young girl would. I really don't think that she understood what she was getting into. I'm sure she did when she was there, but like she said to me, if she tried to leave, they would have killed her. Maybe she is playing it, but I don't believe it. I think she should come back and be trialled here.
Since she's been tracked down by journalists, she's given a number of interviews where the comments didn't sound like she was very remorseful. I mean, she's now sort of said later on that she was worried about what she was saying in those interviews and whether there'd be reprisals. Do you believe that?
I'm no Shamima fan. This isn't a Shamima fan club, anything bar. But she did mention those interviews. She was sat down, she'd just come back, and her 2 friends have been killed. The areas around her, so she escaped her life. She describes herself having trauma, post-traumatic stress disorder. She had lost 2 babies when she was there. She was pregnant when she arrived. The journalist sat her in front of a chair, and she gave an interview, and not really caring what she said. She said she never thought about any of the answers. She just answered them. No one asked her how she was. I know people say, why do you want to ask her how she was? She did what she did, and I get all that, and I understand it. So it's difficult for me, because I've got 2 ways being pulled around from one side to side. I still think she did what she did. I think she knew where she was going. I don't think she realised how bad it was. But the only thing I'm changing my mind about is I think she should come back.
Andrew, I'm just wondering who's been advising her, because of course the original image one has of her was fully up, then the niqab, you only saw her eyes, that very IS look. And I'm just wondering, she's now presenting herself very Western, long hair, she's wearing makeup. Is that just because that's what she is, or is someone advising her that will look better for Westerners?
I asked her that. I said, it seems strange that you changed the way you dress, and everybody's saying you wear a baseball cap, skinny jeans, a tight t-shirt to change the opinion of the West. She said to me, it's what makes her happy. She doesn't think she's ever coming home. She's not trying to impress anyone. She doesn't think she's coming home. She's doing it because she said anything in this camp that has 1 degree of making you happy is worth doing it. Because remember, she's contemplated suicide on several occasions. No matter what you think of her, she's lost 3 kids. The other women in the camp, because she dresses Western, and they're all Western women, she fights and rows with them. They don't like her because the celebrity status. So she's not doing herself any favours by dressing the way she does. She knew I was coming, but only she wasn't going to give me an interview. She's saying no to everything. So I don't agree with that. I think she's dressing because it makes her feel good.
And does she have any concept whatsoever of what such a controversial figure she is back at home? And actually, if she came home, it might not actually be what she hopes it would be.
She said that she'll never come home and everybody hates her. She said, everybody in the UK hates me. I'm a figure of hate. I asked her why, and she said she understands why. She is remorseful. She believes if she comes home, she can help. No one from the government's ever visited her, which I find remarkable. She says that she could prevent other people being radicalised. She said she's got all the information that the government could use. I can't believe that they haven't been there. I really can't.
Well, thank you very much, Andrew, and that's an absolutely fascinating interview, and I know a lot of you are dying to get in touch about this, so please do let us know what you think. Should we let Shamima Begum return to the UK? You can email us at gbviews@gbnews.co.uk.